But you know what? I can't speak for women, but I think that young women are also getting that same kind of message from each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're supporting the toxicity.
Absolutely.
Growing up.
Let me ask this question then. You never hear it, right? But is there like a such thing as like toxic femininity?
Absolutely.
Like
I'm sure there is.
Because we hear about black on black crime, but they don't ever say white on white, Asian on Asian, and we understand why they do that. So I'm not going to delve into that. But I'm just like, but when they speak, I see women who exhibit very masculine or toxic masculine traits, but at least I don't hear women get called out for it.
Well, see, the issue would be that still would be if they're exhibiting masculine traits, there's still toxic masculinity. It's just a woman that's exhibiting these masculine traits, right? So when you're talking about toxic femininity, if that's a thing, we're going to come up with that term. It would need to be an entirely different, like schematic. It would have to be something completely different, and you're not really probably going to hear that just because it's probably not as destructive as toxic masculinity. Because toxic masculinity is aggression. It's not assertiveness; it's aggression. It's really like the like underlying thing of a patriarchal society where men are being taught to dominate other men and dominate their marketplace.
Let's argue that for a minute, because you have a situation like, and I've seen this on social media in multiple places, right? Like they always had like the little cartoon memes or what have you. You have a girl who grew up with a single mom, whose mom was aggressive towards her guy, and that's what she grew up seeing. So now when she got older and she's in her relationship, she's doing the exact same thing, yelling and screaming at her man, stuff like that. So you see what I'm saying? So I don't. Yes,
I think a big part, and of course this is a very brand new idea that I've never seen anybody talk about. So we might need to talk about it more. But I think one thing we have to understand is the reason why. What's the word that I want to use? I think the reason why women do some negative things, we have to remember, is because men aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So it so much depends on us being who we're supposed to be.
Okay.
In the world, that when we're not right, we cause these risks that trickle down and affect so many other people, men and come back to us.
Yeah, we're in a patriarchal society, not a matriarchal society.
No, I agree with that. I'm sorry,
no, you good.
But no, I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? Like,
and this has been hundreds and hundreds of years.
We've had a few conversations so far where it all kind of stems to the exact same thing. If there is a problem, I'm sorry.
It ain't no song called "Woman in the Mirror." It's really what we're trying to say here. Because we live in a patriarchal society, so we don't necessarily encourage the woman to look at herself the way we encourage the man to look at himself. And part of that is appropriate. Like, it's easy to say, well, yeah, it's a double standard. Again, like I said in the earlier episode, the word man comes from a word that means to initiate, right? So if we're the ones that are supposed to initiate, and those are the ones who are built to respond, there's a lot of clues that this stuff is real. You can say what you want, but biologically there's a whole lot of clues that a man is supposed to initiate and a woman is built to respond. So if that's the case, how she's responding has to have something to do with what was initiated.
Or the lack of initiation.
Right. That's actually maybe even worse.
Right.
Because that's one of the most frustrating things for a woman. Right. Is for nothing to be initiated.
She's got to step up into the masculine.
She doesn't have a nature until something is initiated. You can't respond to nothing.
Right.
So if a man's not being a man, literally, then a woman can't be a woman. So we have to take responsibility where that's concerned.
And then also considering that, like, 99% of the leadership roles in our society are held by men.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't make sense for us to be looking at... I mean, sure, women, work on yourselves, and yes, we encourage you to do some work, but it's probably more important for us to be focusing on...
Well, to some extent, since our natures are what they are, you actually won't know how much is the woman's fault until you fix what's your fault.
Right, and then now you remove yourself from the equation and say, okay, our action is good.
Yeah. Now you know how much is actually what the woman does naturally and not what she does because of you. Right. The only way to separate that is to fix what's wrong with the man. Right. So we just got to take responsibility.
You have to be able to acknowledge that there is something that needs to be fixed.
And not to do that would be toxic masculinity.